the Russian guy and our Kenyan women. I want to look into this matter in a different perspective, in a perspective that is affecting our society. The fact that we are talking about it and making memes about it and making it look like it's just something like every other thing. I want to look into it in a perspective that makes me embarrassed being a Kenyan and seeing how our Kenyan women were being handpicked like cherries on a farm by a Russian man who I can term to be weak, because as we are sending our men, or we are not sending them, our men and our boys are going to fight wars in his country. But this guy is leaving his country, coming in Africa, because Kenya was not the only country that he was gongaing these ladies. He also went to Ghana. He went, I think, to a couple of countries. He went to Thailand. And this guy leaves his country while it's in the midst of war with Ukraine. He comes to Africa. He comes to Kenya. And boy, let me tell you, the guy has zero standards. He's picking everything, thick, thin, all sorts of berries on a farm. But as much as we are looking at it in that perspective, there's also the other perspective of our women. They have lowered their standards way too low. The bar is right there on the ground. How can you be picked with 5 words? Hi, I'm from Russia. You look good. 360. The next thing, uko kwa bed. Man, I don't even want to imagine how that is so bad. Forget even the people who are saying that our Kenyan women are cheap. Because the image it portrays is not even about cheapness, because people want to blame almost everything. And that's why some want to say poverty is the enemy. Poverty is not the enemy. Of all the girls that were handpicked, I didn't see anyone who looks like they're languishing in poverty. Some of these girls were coming from gym. If you can afford a gym subscription, that means you're not suffering. It means it's something else to do with morals and values. If you can be handpicked from church, from TRM security, oh my God, I know I've been watching those videos and it's so embarrassing. The worst embarrassment is the guy who left the husband and the woman who was handpicked with the kid. Sijui walikuwa natoka church ama walikuwa naenda wapi. But it's such an embarrassment. I'm embarrassed even talking about it, thinking about it. Because the worst era that we are in is that the internet never forgets. And now all these things are in the internet. I can only imagine what is going on in the families, with the families of all these victims, because they are victims of their own actions. See, every action has a reaction, and these reactions comes with consequences. One of the consequences is self-embarrassment, because now the fact that your faces are out there being seen by everyone, now you can imagine that kind of self-stigmatization. It's crazy. But again, there are rumors that this dude has got HIV. And I can't even tell or imagine that none of you used protection. So that means you're all exposed to this. And it means you take it from yourself to your next partner. And you can't imagine how the cycle will go. So this is the kind of perspective I want to look into this. And I want to talk to the parents today, because I'm a parent and I have girls, right? Let's raise our kids in ways that they will never fall into this kind of nonsense, into this kind of bullshit. Let's raise them with good standards. Let's provide for them. Let's show them love so that someone doesn't stop them, ask them, what is your name? What's your age? You look good. And the next thing, they're in bed with them. Let's raise them the right way so that they don't feel getting these small things and compliments as a way of making them lower their standards and get them to bed with anyone. Let's raise our kids right, because I tend to think that the whole of these things narrows down to morals and zero standards. These are the same women who will raise the bars for their Kenyan men way too high, and you might think they got standards, yet they got none. It has been tested and proven. Just the other day, we had videos that were leaked about Egonga. This guy, Egonga, you remember, he Egongad almost 500 wives. Some of them were pregnant. Like they were being gongwad while they were pregnant. It's just crazy. So this issue, it's not just looking as an embarrassment just because of these faces and some of them that we see. Of course, it is an embarrassment to the whole society, to the whole Kenyan fraternity, wherever we are, because whenever they are seeing this, what do you think they are associating us with? It's not even about poverty. It's about morals. It's about standards. It's quite an embarrassment. I want to talk to parents because I cannot even talk to the victims of those videos because I know right now you guys have a lot to take. You have a lot to deal with. But the truth of the matter is we need to bring up our kids in ways that they uphold their standards and their morals and all this at a very high bar. Because, man, I didn't even know what to say about that when I have been watching those videos. It's quite an embarrassment. I am embarrassed being a man. I am embarrassed being a Kenyan when I saw those videos. And I know it's not the first one. There are so many things that have been happening that we don't know about. But the saddest thing is that the internet doesn't forget. And the era that we are in is the era of the internet. Some of these things will live. The memories are engraved in the website. They cannot be erased. What are you going to tell your kids when they see these kind of videos? What are you going to tell the society, the people who are close to you? How are these people going to go back into their workplaces? Ule madam alikuwa anafanya kwa super. Man, there was a lady who was picked in church. Kuna dem aliacha watoi wake akaachia neighbor. 3 kids. Akaachia watoi neighbor. That's quite an embarrassing. I don't want to blame them, but I want to blame them. I don't know if you know what I mean. I don't want to blame them, and I cannot put this as an excuse. I cannot say it's about poverty. I didn't see anyone mwenye anakaa kona mashida hapo. And what is this mentality that anyone with a white skin has their life figured out? This is why I'm telling you we need to raise our kids right so that they don't see white skin as white privilege, so that they don't see amebaiwa chipo and chicken, and now they think that they can lower their bars and their standards together with their panties. I mean, come on, man. It's quite an embarrassment. I am embarrassed. I am.